Hello Jags, and welcome to our third episode of the year. Our first video will be about the wrestling team and the players' passion for the sport.
Wrestling is a great combat sport and one of the many sports teams at Cedar, though many tend to not know much about it. To learn more about the group, I decided to interview some wrestlers on the team and the coach to gain a better understanding of the sport.
I got into wrestling. I've always been into martial arts. I did Taekwondo for a while, but then when I got into like 8th grade, there was this wrestling camp in Oconee, and I just decided to try it out. It was a summer camp, and I really liked wrestling, and so I got to practice with the Cedar team, and I've been here. So it's pretty much been like my saving grace. It's taught me a lot more than how to wrestle. Gave me good work ethic. I'd say I can talk to people pretty well. I've had a lot of people come into the wrestling room that aren't really sure of themselves, or they're just really scared of wrestling, and so I've gotten good at talking to people.
Tyler and Silas, they're really good teaching techniques. I'm able to learn a lot from wrestling and how to use my body, like strategy.
Well, wrestling them is where I get all my reps in, so they're the best on the team, so the only way to get better is wrestling the best.
I mean, trying anything new, it's going to be scary, especially something physical like wrestling. It definitely was scary, but once you mainly figure out that the mat doesn't really hurt, then you kind of get over that fear and start trying stuff out, and it becomes really fun.
I like wrestling for Cedar Shoals, mainly because of the team. Everyone's always helping each other out, trying to make each other better. My favorite part about wrestling is the outcome, seeing your hard work pay off in a match and seeing improvement.
The students on the team are very passionate. Their coach, Daniel Culliver, seems to be a factor in this, motivating and encouraging them through their matches.
The coaches, our head coach, he's been really good for us. He's like very good on a personal level as well, like being there for you, making you work hard.
My coaching strategy is to have my wrestlers be mentally tough, to go all out, and to be very competitive. We may not have as much mat time or experience as other wrestling programs, but we do bring a level of intensity and a level of athleticism that is hard to match. The part about wrestling and coaching, coaching wrestling and wrestling is probably the same thing. It's the individual sense of accomplishment and victory. Granted, we have a wrestling team, but when a student athlete gets out there and wrestles a match and wins by themselves, it is a great sense of self-accomplishments. I know it looks very physical, one of those things that can be very kind of misleading when you're watching. You think it's all physical. You see guys obviously we're out there in spandex and things like that, so it looks like a very physical sport, but the mental side of it is knowing what comes next.
So what comes next? The team is welcoming to any and all and encourages students to join.
Yes, I definitely encourage anybody to come. We have an open door policy here at Cedar Shoals Wrestling. We love to take anybody who want to come in and try it out.
There's a whole lot more pluses to kind of straighten your spine and trying something like this, something challenging like this, than just saying no. I think I'd rather not. So, it's all up to you, but I would say try wrestling. It could lead to a really good thing.
Wrestling is a great sport for anyone looking to try something new. If it sounds like something that interests you, you should definitely consider joining. This has been Ice Sarf for WJAG TV.
Next up, we're looking back at the photo museum, which took place in the library during homecoming.
During homecoming week, anyone that went into the Cedar Shoals library would see a forest of booths and backdrops. The graphic design class, along with Media Center and other clubs, created the Selfie Museum and opened it during Spirit Week and the night of the homecoming dance. The person in charge of this project was the graphic design teacher, Christine Graziano.
So the whole idea for this Selfie Museum came from the need for Graphic Design Club to have a fundraiser. And we've had some fundraisers in the past and they haven't generated quite as much money. So we were looking to do something that was a little bit more maybe creative and different. We spoke to Media Center and they liked the idea, and then Ms. Hogan suggested we go to the Selfie Museum in Atlanta as research and like a team building experience. And so we did, and we researched and we spent the day there, had a wonderful day. And we came back and we started to put them all together. Some clubs got together, graphic design did some, Media Center did some.
To create the Selfie Museum, many people donated different props and materials to help make the project. The project was made using these, but also with lots of hard work, time, and effort from all of the members. The students helped come up with all of the designs for the booths, which they got to be very creative with. Then they started building them with the help of the teachers.
It took a very long time to like put everything together and come up with different ideas and getting them all to solid ideas.
We blew up the balloons for this one.
I helped set up the frames.
Everybody just worked together, so it made it easy. It felt like everything that came together was useful.
Students have said their skills have improved, both in designing and creating the booths, but also in their teamwork skills. They got to see what it's like behind the scenes to set up a large project and how to work well with others to create the best results.
Overall, when I look back on this whole process, one of the things that was really neat and that stands out and was the most I got out of this was just the coming together of teachers and students to plan this, and how it was based around the cell phone, which is the biggest thing students and teachers are kind of fighting about in the classroom. But in some ways, the cell phone was bringing the two generations together and using the cell phone in one of the ways it's really good for capturing celebrations, capturing like a community event.
It feels nice that they're able to experience it.
It made me feel happy that that ideas kind of came to life.
My favorite part was just seeing the design come together, just seeing people come in and actually take pictures.
It was a good experience and I'd like to do it again.
Props to the graphic design team. For our next video, I checked in with two Cedar basketball players to gain insight on how their season is going so far. With boys basketball in full swing with an 8-win and 8-loss record, the boys have had high hopes for the season and are looking for ways to improve each game. Alexander Koch and Devin Hobart talk about focusing on a rebuilding season for the team and what Alex is looking forward to for his last year playing at Cedar.
I feel like for the last season, I wanted to be a strong season for myself and for my fellow seniors and for the team as well. Just a strong season to finish it off.
Win more games, win the city championship, and go to the region playoffs.
The first two were really good. We had a bunch of strong players. We did well. The last one, we got off to a rough start and we just couldn't pick it up. But for this one, hopefully we can pick it up and do the opposite of last year.
And just evolving as a good team. Athleticism, just working out, getting better every day.
Make sure to come to the Classic City Championship in the Clark Central Gym on January 20th at 2 p.m. This has been Maria Payne and you're watching WJAG TV. Make sure to show up and show out for our Jags. Now we'll have a look at the Neese's beautiful animal family.
My name's Holden Neese, and then I have two cats. One is Libby Neese and the other is Walter Neese. And, well, I have a dog named Beast Neese. Libby is a tortoiseshell cat, Walter's just a black cat, and then my dog Beast is a mutt. Well, I came home one day sitting on the couch, and my mom was like, oh yeah, we got a cat that we've been trying to integrate into the house for 2 weeks, and Libby walked over and sat next to me. I met Beast basically the same way, not inside, but outside. Well, I found him hiding behind one of the cars after our parents let him go and let him play with us, so that was interesting. And we found Walter basically outside running around the neighborhood. We took him in, did all of the treatment stuff for him, and yeah, that was it. I think my favorite things about my pets, for Libby, it's how friendly she is. She's really get picked up like this. For Walter, I think I like his energy. Sometimes it's a little too much, but most of the time it's manageable. And then for Beast, he's a lot older now than the first time we had him, so has a lot less energy, but he's still very friendly to people and genuinely just a good dog. Make sure when you get new pets to integrate them correctly into your house so they don't fight a lot.
Libby is definitely my new favorite cat. Our last video is about Cedar's Minority Excellence Club, created by minority students for minority students.
Me Club is a fairly new organization at Cedar Shoals, beginning just last year. The Me stands for Minority Excellence, which is exactly what the club strives to bring. To further understand this, I spoke to the club's president, Jamiria Wise, another leader, Tammy Villanova, and a member, Joshua Banks.
The whole thing behind our club is representation and showing diversity. And I feel like that's exactly what our club does at this school, Cedar. There are a lot of minorities, whether they're people of color, LGBTQ plus students. There's just so many different communities at Cedar, and I feel like this club is very good to, you know, get the word out that like it's not just this group of people, it's more of us that should be celebrated.
I really do have a passion for Me Club because it really like helped me bond with like my ethnic background and who I am as a person, and it helps like share other cultures as well as my culture.
Still has a great like community feel. Like when you walk in, you feel welcomed, and then just nobody's like treating you any different.
The club has a solid group of leaders. There are 7 as opposed to last year's 2. This is a great example of the club's growth in just its 2nd year of existence.
Our team is really big. It's 7 leaders. The group of leaders, they're so adorable. They're all my friends. They're all so sweet and kind. They're good at giving their opinions out of what's good and what's not good to do. They're just all very understanding and well-organized girls. Everything we all do as a collective group, and I feel like it makes my position much easier.
My role is to get people to join the club, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job at it. I've gotten a lot of my friends and a lot of people I don't even know to join the club.
This year, I'm much more into it. I'm closer to the club members than I was when I was a club member.
Although being so new, the club has garnered immense attention from many students who believe this club is a necessity for Cedar Shoals.
You know, a lot of the clubs ran in the school are mainly run by white students, and we want there to be a voice for minority students, and we want minority students to know that they can excel in life just as much as their white peers.
Minorities can still push and strive for greatness even though we are set into a certain circumstance that's lower than some people.
Me Club's next meeting is in January, so look out for that if you're interested. Their Instagram page is at CSHS Minority Excellence. This has been Sabrina Adams with WJAG TV.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. This has been Maria Payne with WJAG TV.